Hello, students. Good morning. Today we are going to deal with the poem Upagupta written by the famous Indian poet of the pre-independence and during independence era, Rabindranath Tagore ji. We will look at the poem in detail, learning about the writer, the theme of the poem, and Jen, what is the general conclusion related to the particular poem? What we understand about the particular poem? Let us look into the poem in detail after a brief introduction to Tagore. A brief introduction related to Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, born 7th May 1861 to 7th August 1941, is also known as Gurudev. He was a Bengali polymath who reshaped Bengali literature and music in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He is a famous author of Gitanjali, a collection of poems from which our national anthem has been taken out, Jana Gana Mana. He is renowned to have contributed to the establishment of the Shantiniketan and the great university too. Not only the school but also the University of Shantiniketan. He became the first non-European, or we can also say the first Indian, to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Now let us look at the theme of the poem presented by Tagore ji, who was an immense contributor as a poet, as a short story writer, as a dramatist, as a novelist, and also as a prose critic. Let us enter into the theme of the poem right now. Looking at the theme of the poem, we can see a picture of Upagupta, the great disciple of Gautama the Buddha. We can also see the image of a dancer holding a lamp, a hurricane lamp, and looking at the face of Upagupta in the particular slide. The poem, when we talk about, deals with two different characters when we look at the theme of the poem, Upagupta and Vasavadatta. Upagupta is a disciple of Buddha. He is a simple, handsome young man. He lays asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. One night, the dancing girl was returning home after her dance performance. She touched Upagupta's breast with her feet, who slept in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. She was proud of herself. In a way, she has kicked Upagupta's chest. She requested Upagupta to come to her house. Upagupta refuses and tells her, I will visit you when the time is ripe. Later, in the second part of the poem, the theme reflects Upagupta coming back to Mathura once again, his second visit to Mathura. Upagupta finds the dancing girl lying on the ground outside the town, having sores all over her body and forbidden by the town people. He applies balm on her body, and when asked who he was, he replies, "The time has come to visit you, and I am here." Now let us look at the conclusion of the poem Upagupta. The poem Upagupta by Rabindranath Tagore establishes the temporariness of sensual pleasures. They are the root cause of sorrow, and the realization of the truth and spirituality towards the end of the poem is the final truth. We can see the image on the slide, students, of Vasavadatta falling at the feet of Upagupta on his second visit. He heals her completely. Tagore achieves this unification of spirituality, this unification and realization of spirituality and the temporariness of materialistic pleasures through the incidents in the life of the dancing girl and her meeting with the ascetic called Upagupta. Hope you understood the conclusion, the message which the poem has given and which Tagore has tried to deliver through this poem. Thank you. So we come to the ending of the particular lesson dealt with in this presentation, that is Upagupta. We have dealt with a brief introduction of the writer Rabindranath Tagore ji, and then we went to understand the theme of the poem, which is in two sections, like the part which deals with the pride, with the importance of materialistic pleasures of Vasavadatta, and the second part dealing with the importance given to the realization of spirituality and the permanency of spiritual life. And we had come to the conclusion, delivering the message of the Upagupta's poem, and hope this particular poem has been understood with the small brief presentation. Thank you, dear students. Hope you find this meaningful and useful.